What's up guys, Mr. Lee Raven here, and episode 8 of the Sliema Journey. I normally do 11 games. Unfortunately I have gone on a bit too far without actually realising, so I've kind of gone to the halfway stage. With a 33 games I've gone just over halfway, I believe, playing 17 or 16, one of them. But what we'll do is we'll have a look at some transfers. We'll have a look at the European journey as well, which didn't last very long, to be fair, and then the league games. The league's a little bit interesting, to say the least, but let's get straight into the transfers first, and we will start with, as you can see, I released quite a few players. Joseph Mifsud, the main name on there. Dylan Kustavesis, I think that's just right. No, sorry, Kukavesis, sorry. He went as well. But I've brought some players in. Steven Bazzino I've brought in from Mostar on a free transfer. Again, I needed really to strengthen the defence, and he wasn't too bad. He was actually a player I got on a free before, on a pre-contract agreement. That's what I was looking for. The next player is Federico Maracci. I also got him on a pre-contract agreement as well from Cormy. I then brought in a striker, Joselito, as my main striker. Ivan Woods was actually beginning to go down in reputation. He's actually now like 2.5 star, I believe it is. So I needed to back him up, and I got a 23-year-old Joselito. I brought in Jonathan Magro, a centre back who is 17. He is actually playing at the moment as well due to a few injuries. And the final player is Ryan Camilleri, who I brought in on loan as free transfer, and he is also a youth player. So those are the players I brought in. Again, all on free transfers, mainly because finances aren't that great. Even though, as you can see there, I've got 398,000 in the bank. I've got 294,000 at the end of the season, according to this. The money is due to Champions League, so it would be nice to get into the Champions League again, though the league is getting a little bit out of hand at the moment and away from me a little bit. So let's go straight into the fixtures now. And as you can see there, the Premier League, I mean, I lost 7-3 at Brickakara, that's stupid. But let's have a look at the Champions League. And as everyone remembers, I had Hapoel Tel Aviv in the second qualifying round, and the away leg was first, and I lost 1-0 to Yaron Ben Nissan's goal in the 65th minute. I have to admit, I was very surprised with this result, because we didn't actually go up in ranking at all, which was a bit disappointing considering the run we had in the Europa League last year. I was a bit disappointed, but I'm not too fussed. So I was in the second round anyway. Wasn't seeded either, so wasn't expecting to get through. I think I was the lowest ranked non-seed in my section. As you can see, it's quite even. 6 shots each. They had 4 on target to my 1, and it's 51% possession to me. So to come away with a 1-0 defeat was actually really good. And as you can see, I lost on away goals. I just couldn't believe it. I was not expecting that. My aim was to try and keep it below 5 goals on aggregate scores for them. I know a lot of people will be surprised at that, but considering it's Maltese football and it's not that good at all, I think in real life Maltese clubs have only got past the starting round in any competition once, I think it is, or twice maybe. But as you can see there, I had a decent game against them, and I also had a decent crowd, 3,900 at Takali Stadium, which was really, really good. Got me some money as well. I can see that was how bad it was at the start. I only had 2 players on the bench, one keeper, Ruben Grech, and Ivan Woods as a backup striker. Clifton Baricino put me 1-0 up in the 37th minute. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hold out till half time, as a Shirabi goal for Hapoel 1 minute before half time levelled it up. So obviously I would need to get 2 goals to have a chance of going through. I managed to get 1 through Trevor Sealer in the 73rd minute, but despite quite a bit of heavy pressure from me with the 15 minutes to go, we were not able to get a 3rd goal to send us through. And unfortunately we won 2-1 on the night, but we went out on aggregate 2-2 out on away goals, which was really frustrating, but I was quite happy. I was not expecting to get anywhere near Hapoel in the stakes, but to win the home leg and go out on away goals was a real shock. Shots wise, 14-8 to them, 6-5 on target to them, and it was 53% possession. So pretty much it was over at the first hurdle. It went better than I expected, obviously, with considering we went out on away goals, but still it was a good experience to play Hapoel, who I believe, I'm just going to check this, actually made it to the group stages. Yeah, there you go. They beat me on away goals. They then beat Gandazar, I think is how you say it, from Armenia on away goals as well, and then they actually lost to Rosenborg they beat Rosenborg in the final qualifying round to make it through to the Euro Champions League group stage, where they had PSV, Barcelona, Spartan, and as you can see, they've lost 4 out of 5 and drew at home to PSV, and they've actually yet to score a goal. So we actually went out to a team that made it through to the group stages. I would be happy to get through to the next round, to be fair, in the Champions League. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be this time round, but who knows next time. Friendly wise, I played him Cedar Joseph and beat him 2-1. Silas goal and Ladowsi. As you can see, I actually had a decent squad at that time. Well, actually I didn't, because that's mainly youths, to be honest with you. And my other friendly was a 2-0 win at Leisure Ajax, my feeder club. So into the league, as you can see, it started off very well. Went to Vita Rosa Stars and beat him 2-0. Pablo Gonzalez in the 13th minute and Stanley Ohoachu in the 16th minute made it 2-0, and that is how it stayed for the rest of the game. 8 shots to 5 in my favour, 2 shots to 1 on target, and they had 55% of the possession, but to come away with a 2-0 win was a good start to the season, as the actual expectations of the board have gone up since I won the league. They now want me to win the league this time, whereas last year it was to qualify for Europe via the league, but this time they want me to win it. Would be nice to win it, but currently with the league table at the moment, I'm not too sure if that's going to happen. We then followed that up with a 3-2 win over Brukakara. Josito put me 1-0 up in the 6th minute, but Gareth Sribas in the 12th minute and Ryan Dominin, I think is how you say, in the 16th minute put them 2-1 up. But Stanley Hoachu's goal in the 42nd minute levelled things up and left it 2-2 at half time. I then made some. Well, I didn't make any changes. I just made a little bit of a change in the to attack him, and kept it at that for the rest of the second half, and it paid off with Andrew Cagliari scoring the winner with 13 minutes to go. Stats wise, 9 shots to 8 for them. I had 6 on target to their 3, and I had 60% of the possession, so we then ended up winning 2 in a row. A little break from the league to play in the Super Cup, and we retained the trophy by winning 2-0. Joseto on the stroke of half time in the first half put us in the front, and then Stanley Hoachu doubled the lead less than 10 minutes into the second half for us to get the Super Cup for second season running, and for me to have my 3rd bit of silverware in this journey. Unfortunately, Federico Marachi was injured in this game. He was out for a couple of games, but we've now got him back. As you can see, possession wise 50%, which was quite shocking, really, to be fair. I had 10 shots to 6 and 5 to 1 on target, so you wouldn't expect to see 50% possession. I then followed that up with the 3rd league win of the season, and the 3rd in a row against Belzan Youths. Stanley Hoachu put us 1-0 up in the 14th minute, and doubled his tally and the score 9 minutes later from the penalty spot, and that is how it stayed for the rest of the match. Shots 13 to 4 in my favour, 4 to 1 on target in my favour, and I had 62% of the possession, so it was quite a dominant performance. We then followed that up with a 4th win on the spin in the league and 5th overall, with a 3-1 win against newly promoted Marshallock. Andrew Cagliari scored his 2nd goal of the season to put us 1-0 up in the 8th minute, and that was how it was until half time. And a Clifton Chianter own goal in the 56th, and then a Stanley Hoachu penalty 3 minutes later put us 3-0 up. Marshallock did pull one back through Adrian Scieri, but that was the end of the scoring, and we made it 4 wins out of 4 in the league. It's 14 shots to 8 in my favour, 3 to 4 on target in their favour, and they had 55% of this possession, so you'd expect them to be a little bit disappointed with how that went. Fortunately, we then suffered our first defeat of the season against Turksian Rainbows. Pablo Gonzalez put me 1-0 up in the 2nd minute. Justin Girali made it 1-0 in the 27th, and they then took the lead in the 42nd through Leandro Guerrero, and that is how it was at half time. An own goal by Baricino on the arrow mark made it 3-1, and then Anonan made it 4-1 15 minutes later. Pablo Gonzalez did pull one back for us, but it was only a consolation, and that was it for the game, and we ended up losing our first game of the season 4-2. Pretty much a typical Football Manager one for me there. If I go 5 or 6 games on a trot winning, I will then, when I do lose, I get absolutely smashed for some reason. 16 shots to 11 for them, 5 to 4 on target, and they had 54% of the possession. We then followed that up. We bounced straight back by beating Mosta 5-2. Sila put us a goal up in the 13th minute. Bianchardi made it 2 in the 23rd. Fernandino Apap pulled one back from Mosta 10 minutes later. But within 5 minutes we were 3-1 in front. Hazazito got his first goal of the game, and we went in 3-1 at half time. Stanley Hoacho scored again to put us 4-1 up in the 50th minute. 7 minutes later, Joseto doubled his tally to put us 5-1 up, and then the scoring was rounded off by Mosta with a Kozeri Zongo goal 15 minutes from time to give us a 5-2 victory. 13 shots to 10 to them, 8 shots to 5 on target, and they had 53% of the possession. So we rounded that off very nicely. Unfortunately, we then hit a bit of a slump. We lost at home 2-1 to Dingley Swallows. Haruna Doda put them 1-0 up in the 10th minute, and it stayed like that till half time. Pablo Gonzalez equalised for us within a couple of minutes of the second half starting. However, we went for the victory, and however it backfired, as Haruna Doda actually doubled his tally for the game with 2 minutes to go to give Dingley the win. Stats wise, 15 shots to 10 to me, 4 on target to their 2, 63% possession to me. So to come away with nothing was really disappointing. We then followed that up with a 4-3 defeat against Cormy. Tristan Karuna put them 1-0 up in the 2nd minute. Edison Zarata made it 2 on the 45th minute, and it was 2-0 at half time. So we went at them to try and get something back. It kind of backfired initially, as Roderick Samet put them 3-0 up in the 51st. We then gave ourselves a little bit of hope within 15 minutes, as Barbetti made it 3-1. However, 4 minutes later, they were 3 goals in front again for Daniel. But we did make a 5-0, as Pablo Gonzalez in the 81st minute and Joseti in the 88th minute made a squeaky bum time for the Cormy fans. But unfortunately, we're not able to get the goal to pull it level. This time it was 12 shots to 8 for them, 8 to 3 on target for them, and 51% possession to me. But unfortunately, we came away with nothing. We then followed that up with our 3rd defeat on the row, and it was the FA Cup 2nd round defeat to 1st Division Hamrun Spartans. Hoacho put us 1-0 up in the 16th minute. Stefan Zamet equalised for Hamrun 4 minutes from half time, and that's how it stayed. In the second half, Pablo Gonzalez put me 2-1 up. However, we only held the lead for 3 minutes. Gianluca Calabretti equalised for Zambretta in the 72nd minute, and then Glenn Borg put them 3-2 up in the 78th and knocked us out at the first round. And as you expect, the board are not happy, as they want me to win the competition. I had 16 shots to 8, 4 shots each on target, and 61%. So again, to come away with nothing was really disappointing. It would have been interesting because my game actually got postponed for a week for some reason. So I knew the FA Cup draw before I started, and if I'd won that, I would have drawn Valletta at home to hopefully knock them out and have a real good chance of getting the cup, which, thinking about it now, is the only competition I haven't actually won with Sliema in Malta at the moment. Luckily, we bounced back from that straight away and beat Hibernians 4-1. Pablo Gonzalez in the goal in the 2nd minute put me 1-0 up. Stanley Huacho doubled the lead less than 10 minutes later. Ivan Woods then put us 3-0 up within 15 minutes of that, so by the half-hour mark we were 3-0 up. And we then put a 4th past them in the first half through Zelito, and that's how it was at half-time. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get any more goals. However, Hibernians did pull one back between Moate Jr. in the 87th minute, and we ended up running out 4-1 winners. Stats-wise again, 12 shots to 9 in my favour, 8 shots to 3 on target, and then 51% possession. So we finally made some chances count for once. We then made it 2 wins in a row by beating Floriana 2-0. This is actually, I'm not too sure if it's Derby, but it's one of the our big rivals according to the information for Sliema. A Josetti goal in the 42nd minute to put us a goal in front just before half time, and then he doubled the tally in the dying seconds to give us our 2nd win in a row. Shots again, we started to take our chances again, but it would have been nice to get a goal more or two. 18 shots to 7 in my favour, 8 shots on target to their 2, and then it was 57% possession to me. We then made it 3 wins in a row by beating Vitarosa Stars 2-1. Stanley Huachi put me in front in the 11th minute. I'm not too sure, I didn't actually watch the first half, I wasn't really paying attention because I was watching the Formula 1 if I remember rightly. But then Ian Zammit equalised for him, and then we went straight up the other end, or the other way round, and we got a 2nd through Huachi's penalty. So stats wise, 18 shots to 8 again, 5 to 3 on target to me, and I had 54% possession. Unfortunately, we then went on another spiral again. We lost 3-1 in the big game of the season against Valletta. Dyson Falzon put them 1-0 up in the 56th minute. However, Joselito equalised within 4 minutes to give us a chance of gaining some ground on Valletta. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, as 2 former England strikers, Michael Mifsud, who was at Coventry, pulled them in front in the 66th minute, and then Barnsley's ex-striker Daniel Bogdanovic put them 2 goals in front with 9 minutes to go. Stats wise, unfortunately, 9 shots to 8 to them. They had 4 on target to my 1, and possession was exactly 50%. We did draw 1-1 with Tarsian Rainbows. Leandro Guerrero put them in front in the 47th minute, and Joselito equalised for them just after the hour mark. Stats: 10 shots to 6 to them, 6 to 2 on target, and I had 58% of the possession. We then had a bit of a nightmare against Birkirkara. They went in front through Ryan Darminin in the 19th minute. I equalised in the 40th through Ivan Woods, and that's how it was at half time. Then Paul Fenech put them 2-1 up in the 47th minute. They then made it 3 through Michael Goela in the 51st minute, and then Trevor Sela equalised for the 3rd time in the 63rd minute. However, it all went downhill from there. 5 minutes later, Nikola Vukanak put them 4-3 up. Darmanin then made it 5-3 5 minutes later. 2 minutes later, a own goal from my keeper, King Kutjar, made it 6-3. And then with 60 seconds to go, Darmanin completed his scoring to make it 7-3 to Birkirkara. We then followed that up with another high scoring defeat at Balzan. Gonzalez put me 1-0 up in the 13th minute. Elton equalised for them, and then 2 minutes later Eva Parker put them 2-1 up, and that's how it was till half time. Stefan Giglio put them 3-1 up just after the half time. I then pulled one back through Stanley Hiluchu. However, McCarty put them 4-2 up, 5 minutes to go. I did pull one back in the dying seconds, but it wasn't enough. Stats was 15-11 in their favour, 6 shots to 4 on target, and I had 57% of this possession. Stats for the Brickakara game: 16 shots to 15 in my favour. They had 9 on target to my 4, and I had 52% possession. So to come away losing 7-3 was an absolute joke, to be fair. However, the final game of this section was a 2-1 win at Dingley Swallows. Ivan Woods put me a goal up in the 19th minute. Just on the stroke of half time, Ledesi made it 2, and that's how it stayed until the 82nd minute when Haruna Doda pulled one back for them, and they did have some chances in the dying seconds, but we held on. It was 17 shots to 10 to me, 6 to 5 on target to me, and I had 58% of the possession. So that was the fixtures for this. As you can see, I am third in the league, 16 games, 28 points, 5 points behind Brickakara, and on the same games, I'm 9 points behind Valletta, and they have a game in hand. And annoyingly, I am 3 points clear of Belzan Youths, who have 2 games in hand on me. So that could be a bit of a problem. Cut wise, as you see, I went out in the second round. Where am I? There I am, second round against Hamron Spartans, and I would have drawn Valletta in the third round. Valletta actually beat Hamron in an extra time, so we had a quarterfinals. Valletta and Naxar, Dingley against Viterosa, Tarksan, Cormy and Hibernians, and I think it's Nader Youngsters are also in the quarterfinals. I think that's the most Premier League teams in the quarterfinals since I've started, and the actual holders Cormy are there, so it's interesting. Let's have a look at these. Let's have a look at, oh my god, wrong button. Some player stats. So we've only got Trevor Sela, who's second in the assists with 11, and that is actually it, which is a bit annoying. So my leading goal scorer is probably going to be Owachu, actually. Yeah, he's on 12. Hazalito, who unfortunately is injured for 3 weeks, is on 10. And then Ivan Woods is on 3, and he's injured as well. Fantastic. Twisted ankle, not too sure how long there. So third highest scorer is actually Pablo Gonzalez, who's on 9. So I actually have no fit strikers at the moment, which is nice, especially as I got a game against Mosta in a week's time. Let's have a look at how we got all our teams got on in Europe, actually. So obviously I went out in the Champions League second qualifying round. In the first qualifying round in Europa League, Valletta beat Lusitanas from Andorra 6-0. I think Valletta actually get seeded because of how high they are. Hibernians went out 6-1 to Shamrock, and the other team, Cormy, Cup winners, went out 9-0 to HJK Helsinki. So Valletta were the only team to make it through to the second round, and if I remember rightly, they were beaten as well. So there they are. They went out 3-0 to RNK Split. So they've got through to the second round, so that's not too bad. Hopefully, it'll probably mean they've gone up in the rankings. I might have gone up with the rankings. I don't really know how they work, whether it's aggregate scores or whether it's down to wins overall. So hopefully we can have gone up. I don't think we'll be seeded or anything, but who knows? We'll see. Have to see what happens. I think I have to get through to about the final qualifying round to have any chance, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think I'm going to get to the Premier League, get to the Champions League, unless I pretty much win every single game between here on in. I would like to get into Europe again, but I'm going to have to start winning some games. So that's it for this episode, guys. The next episode I will actually do after the season's finished, because normally I do it in blocks of 11 games, but because I didn't do it for this one, I only noticed with about 2 games to go to the halfway stage, or just under the halfway stage, I thought I would carry on. So the next one will be for the end of the season, and we'll see how it goes. So that's it, guys. Leave some likes, leave some comments, subscribe, and then tune in next time for an end of season review. In the meantime, take it steady.